Morning. Let me clear my throat before, clear my throat before I start talking. Should have got some water as well, but all right, we're jumping into a stream. Let me start the timer as well. Well, let's not start it as yet, but anyways, happy Memorial Day. First thing first. That's the first order of things. Happy Memorial Day. We're off today. Well, I'm off today. And just gonna do a little short stream, and it's really just me hanging out pretty much. Just gonna probably hang out for about an hour and a half or an hour or two. I don't know. Let's see where we get. We're gonna set the timer for about 2 hours though. But anyways, long and short of it, what you see on the screen is a website for a restaurant, and it's a typical looking style for any restaurants. You know, restaurants like to use a lot of bright colors, big fonts. You know, like to showcase their food and all that good stuff on their website. I mean, that's their business, right? Food. So yeah, what's a website? Of course, we should all know. You know, we should all know a website is pretty much a representation of any company or person. Just in my language, a representation of any company, person, a brand that you can find on the internet, right? And you know, you may ask yourself, do I need a website? It's really down to you, but I would say everybody could use a website, right? In some way or the other. You know, it's not just for businesses these days. People use websites to showcase their resumes. You know, if you are an artist, to showcase your portfolio, engineer, same thing. So websites of it's not just necessarily for business purposes. Even if you wanted to, for example, showcase just things you do in your daily life, right? Maybe you want to form a group of you and your friends. You guys play video games and you just want to set up a website just for that. You know, so it's gone beyond that these days, beyond just businesses owning websites. So I would say anyone could use a website at this point. But anyways, long and short of it is I'm here just to see whether or not we can create this website, right? I've been doing this since 2017, or yeah, probably about 2017. So it's been a hot minute. What's that? Close to 10 years, right? Not there yet. It might actually be. I don't know. It might have been 2016, 2017 is when I started using WordPress. I'd have to check. And I've been fooling around with websites for years. As someone would say, I'm a creature of habit. So I've always used the same theme builder or the same company. 4 themes. Make sure the music isn't too loud for you guys. I always use the same company for themes. So I've stuck it out with them for years. They're called @themes. And I only create WordPress websites, right? I don't do coding. I probably should have learned a bit of coding by now, but I still don't code. It's can't say it's a personal decision because I could try to code, right? I think it's not a bad idea to know a little bit of coding, but I haven't learned how to code. That's just the truth. But I do know how to build websites. So we're gonna try to see if we can recreate this website today. And as you can see, I'm just kind of chilling though, nothing fancy. Still wearing my little headgear you see here. But it's just it's just that kind of vibe today. So I'm gonna start creating this website from scratch, which includes launching the website on Hostinger, however you say it. They are actually my my hosting platform. So I use Hostinger. And I've been using them probably for about 2 years now. And honestly, they are absolutely great for anyone. you know, whether you're an experienced designer or, you know, you're just getting into designing websites and you just want somewhere to host. They have some of the best tools that I've experienced. And pretty much most of what you do here is seamless. Just to launch a website, and we're going to show you. Once we get the timer up, I'm going to show you. It should tell you how long we took to get that WordPress website up and going on Hostinger. It doesn't take long to create a WordPress website. Or to create, yeah, same thing, WordPress website. They've just made it seamless, and for the price, their service is pretty good, pretty fast, pretty reliable. So I mean, I enjoy using Hostinger. But anyways, let's get the timer. Let's reset the timer here. And once that timer gets going, then we're on the clock, right? So let's reset the timer back to 2 hours, and let's see how long it takes us to get this website up. At least a portion of it, right? So I'm going to show you all of the tools I used today. Well, not all. You might not be able to see all of them because some of them are going to be on the PC. But tools we're going to be using today is we're going to be using AI to clean up some of these photos. Actually, I did that already, some of them, but I'll show you. We may need we're going to test AI with this photo because I probably will take this photo. Actually, I might not have to. We might not have to use AI. We might not have to use AI because I went ahead yesterday and did some of these because I needed these pictures and I just need to get rid of these little plus signs out of it. I could have probably just clicked on it though, and hopefully they had like see, well, it's large, but then it's cutting off some of it. But anyways, I used the tool yesterday to do that part of it. So we might not be using any AI tools today, but I will be using Figma. Figma is a great tool as well if you're a designer. You know, you can use Figma pretty much for any and everything design wise. A lot of people run to Canva because Canva is a little bit more user friendly. My Cup of Joe, welcome to the party. How's your Memorial Day? Yeah, we're gonna build a website. We're actually gonna try to replicate this as close as we can. It's probably not gonna look exactly like it, but it should look like it. But welcome to the party. Hopefully you are having a wonderful holiday if you're off at least. You love Canva? Yeah, everybody loves Canva. It's seamless, very easy to use. Very easy to use. But we're gonna show you a bit of Figma today. But anyways, time has started. We've talked long enough. Let me jump into this. Hopefully the music isn't overwhelming. You can listen to the music. Memorial Day is right. Yeah, absolutely. It's been raining since Saturday. It's been raining since Saturday. Hasn't really been much of an holiday, really. You know, it's interesting. I don't know if it changes today. I'm probably gonna have to go out for a little bit, even for a walk. That's just the honest truth, you know. That's I may need to go take a walk, just get out of the house for a bit, at least for a couple minutes, maybe an hour or two. Just need to get out. But hopefully we can enjoy the rest of it that's left. I think it should dry up this afternoon, so that's my hope. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. You can't hear any music. All right, so let's the volume is low on it. That's what it is. You should be hearing it. Is that too loud now? You should be hearing music. Let me know. I actually did like a test stream on TikTok yesterday, and this microphone I changed it out, but there's an app on my computer that was kind of messing things up. But anyways, again, less of the talk in here. Let's jump into it. Our timer is at we lost 4 minutes, so let's get going. Let's add a new website in Hostinger. I won't show you that aspect of it because there's a bunch of privacy thing going on there. But pretty much I'm going to use my domain and create a subdomain. Pretty easy to create a subdomain in Hostingr as well. You know, it's pretty easy, pretty simple. You just kind of put your domain there. And that's my domain. And you just name it. I'm going to name it, I don't know, maybe tutorial. All right. So pretty much creating a subdomain. It's pretty easy to create a subdomain again in Hostingr. Just kind of showing you what's going on. I won't keep it up though. I don't know if it's necessary, but so we're choosing the free subdomain. This is my domain. And we're just creating a WordPress website. Pretty seamless. Once I get past here, I'll show you some. You know, website's been created. And again, Hostingr is pretty easy to use. It's pretty seamless. It's not difficult. Anyone could use it actually. It's just a matter if you want to give it a shot. But if you do have experience with web development, okay, so you can hear it. All right, that's good to hear. But yeah, just if you're looking for hosting, I would recommend them like 100%. I've used Bluehost in the past. I don't know if they've changed things, but they were pretty good as well. But once I found Hostingr, it was a wrap. I couldn't do Bluehost anymore. So anyways, while we wait, it's at 100%. So all right, getting things ready. All right, so once WordPress is launched, then we'll drag that over to the screen. I gotta open one more file. And one more file here. All right, it's gonna ask you a bunch of questions. None of this is important. Let's just skip and go to WordPress. All right, so this is WordPress. Fresh install of WordPress will look like this, and of course, it's already ready. You could pretty much call it a website, you know what I mean? But it really doesn't have any content on it because you haven't created any content. So that's what we're here to do. A typical installation of WordPress. Oh, nope. I don't know what's going on here. That's not what we wanted. I don't know what I did. I exited it. Let's go back to WordPress admin. All right. So let's put that back over here. So typically when you install WordPress, and it will look different depending on the platform you're using. We're using Hostingr or the server or what you're using for server. It'll look somewhat different. Obviously, it's Hostingr, and they put their app into the WordPress installation when you do so. But I mean, it's pretty much the same dashboard on this side that you'll see. This is just their part of it. So yeah, typically when you install a fresh copy of WordPress is what it's going to look like. So let's go to appearance and themes. You'll see that we have a theme that was provided by Hostingr, you know, and then you have a couple more WordPress themes that's here. So today I'm going to be using the theme that I always use. And they're called @themes, and we're using the Sydney Pro theme. All right, I already have a save file on my computer, but typically you could either search it. So if you search @themes, you should find them. Or if you searched Sydney Pro, you should find it as well. I don't need to install it from here because again, I have it installed on, I have it downloaded on my computer. There's two ways of installing a theme on WordPress. You can either upload your theme or you could install your theme from the theme store, right? In this case, we're just gonna upload it. So let me grab, it switched folders. Here we go. You're not seeing none of that, I know. So once we have that file, it install, it should install seamlessly. Typically, these are also zipped, so you don't really need to extract them for them to upload. You pretty much just upload them zip and WordPress will do the extracting. So once that's installed, it says it's successful, we're gonna activate it. And now once the theme is activated, that's the theme that we're gonna see on a WordPress, so if you went back here, look at our website, it should just, you know, show that it's the Sydney theme. There's nothing there yet, again, because we haven't done, anything. We haven't done anything. So next step from here is to pretty much choose a theme. And we're gonna go back to appearance, theme. And once we go here, you should see this. If you're using this theme, you should see something like this pop up. If not, then sometimes you have to go into the theme itself, and from that point you should be able to find something. But in this case, it's here. It's how they have it set up. I'm also going to activate my theme because I want to use the pro version of this theme. So let me just go ahead and activate that on screen for you guys to see my license. Not let's just grab that and let's just put the license in there. All right, once that's activated, all right, so this is where I put my license into settings, and then once that activates, now we can choose to install a theme that's more appropriate for what we are going to be doing. All right, so they already have some theme that are built and they're full-fledged website. Honestly, if you didn't want to do anything other than just like grab a theme from here and just maybe change a word, and you could. Yeah, it's just like that. They're solid. These are solid themes, and you can pretty much look through them and see, you know, what works best for you. And if we went to preview, I'll show you what it looks like. So I mean, these are full-fledged website that you could use without even doing much editing. And I think the most you'd probably want to do, obviously, is changing the branding. If you wanted to change the color, button styles, stuff like that. You know, you don't really have to go crazy though. And let's say you just wanted to purchase one of these, or purchase this theme and then choose one of their builder. It's really the way to go. But because we're professionals, we're gonna be changing things up a bit. So I'm just going through and showing you the different themes. I can't come back out of here because I already know which one I'll use, right? And the good thing too, they also label their themes. They label their themes with titles, or put them in categories per se, for like, you know, for what you probably use them for. So they're telling you could use this for agency. Here you could use this for fashion shop, you know, which is maybe a clothing store. You know, if you're a professional and you're a plumber, you could use it there. For finance or for photography, it tells you, you know, so you could pretty much choose one of these. I've never seen this one before. Interior design didn't load. I think that's a photographer one. Okay, so something's up with that one. Yeah, this might be new. You know, so the one we are going to be using though is the one that says cafe. I think that one looks the best for what we're going to be doing. I mean, already you could tell that there's some similarities. As I say, restaurants use similar kind of layout. And what do you say about license? So the license, I think without the license, you would still be able to use one of these. Or I think you should be able to use any of them, but it's just that certain features will be locked out. you know, there's going to be a paywall. So I think you might be able to use anyone, but you won't be able to use certain tools that are available once you start editing your website. So there's some here that are actually free though. Like this one is free. Like you would use this and there shouldn't be any restrictions. And I mean, this is very nice. And again, you should be able to edit it with the free version of Elementor, which we're going to be using on our Elementor that we're going to be using on the front end to edit our website. So good question. It's a shame that I didn't try first without putting in the password or the pin. But I think there might be at least 2 that are fully free. Look like it's just one. And it's the one up here, the agency free. So again, we're going to be using this. We already took a look at it. I'm just going to hit import. We're going to be using Elementor to edit. So go next. We could pick a color scheme that fits what we're going to be using, what we're going to be creating. That's really not that important though, but it will influence certain things coming in, like your buttons. As you see, the buttons change in there. So you might want to pick something that's close to what you're doing. In this case, we want buttons to be red. You know, I think this color works best. It's similar. Not really a bright red that they're using. And then you want to pick a font style. And again, you could change this, but I think it's best to do it now because it makes it a little more seamless. You know what I mean? It's like you really don't want to do too much when you're creating these websites. You want to make it quick and easy. You're already going to be doing a bulk of the front end work and a bulk of the back end work. Also, just keep in mind that, you know, while you can scale these themes, and you notice it's already scaling, that would be what it looks like on a tablet and what it would look like on your cell phone. You're probably not going to keep them like this. So think about it this way. You're building 3 websites. Once you start changing up their setup as well, it won't work the same. You know, it won't work the same once you start previewing your different devices. Again, most people view things on cell phones, so you really want to optimize your cell phone version of your website so it works seamlessly on or great on a mobile device, right? So again, you really don't want to do too much, but you probably will end up doing a lot because again, you're making this yours. You're making this yours. As you can see, when they scroll down, it does the same thing where it changes that backdrop. You know, it's almost like they use the same theme, right? But again, restaurants are restaurants, and it's kind of a best practice. What you see here is kind of what you'll see for most restaurants. So let's pull in. I was thinking about doing this one. Trying to see, that's gonna be blue. It really doesn't matter. What I need is that I would much rather to keep the buttons and I'll use this one. From here we go continue, and it's giving me that. I don't know what that is, but don't worry about it. It should be fine. Continue again. Actually go back. All right, continue. Not putting in any personal information. You could have done this and it would have helped you out with some of that portion as well. So we're skipping. It's already doing an e-commerce, so it's doing the ability to check out online. So it's kind of creating a store for you already, and the page builder. I don't think we need anything additionally for now because again, this is just a tutorial. WooCommerce is a very powerful tool as well when you're building stores. The only one I use actually. So when I'm building a storefront, I was going to be WooCommerce. I've used them for years. Very reliable, very efficient. It's just like a solid plugin to use for WordPress if you're creating a store. So we'll continue from there as well. We're going to uncheck that and then start importing, and that should do its thing from that point. . All right. So let that do its thing. Let's see how much time we've ate up. We at least ate up close to 30 minutes already, I imagine. Actually, 20 minutes. Like we're 20 minutes. We're 20 minutes in. It's not bad. For 20 minutes, we've gotten most of it done. But let's see if this thing imports. Sometimes these things will give you errors as well. You have to redo it. You know, I mean, again, it's all software. Softwares are not perfect. That's the thing, though. When you're creating a website, you know, the ability to create website isn't like the hardest part of it. So, like, if you were to create the website itself, you know, if, for example, just uploaded a theme. Like, I don't think that's the hardest part of this. The most difficult part of it is troubleshooting, you know? When things don't work the way they're supposed to, like this, I could see that this has been a little problematic because it doesn't take this long to upload. But, you know, being able to problem solve is very important when you're doing these things, you know, just troubleshoot the hell out of it sometimes, you know? And when you go on the back end of WordPress as well, just setting up your menus, setting things up in the back could be a little tricky. There might be things that you wanted to change about how your website function, and then you may have to figure that out as well. Anyways, let's jump into it. This is it. We now have our website. It's already telling you the URL because we didn't choose a name. So because I want things to look properly, let's just first edit this page. Actually, not edit this page. I've gone to customize. So, but we're already in WordPress now, so I'm just gonna take it from this part. Get out of here. Go in here, customize, and so the customize section could be a little tricky because you need to know where to find what. It depends on what theme you use as well. Theme builder you use, you know, things could be located differently. As I can see, they kind of made these menus. And seeing that I'm in here already, I might as well just change things around a bit, right? So let's see where it takes me. So site name is gonna be Casa. I think they're called Casa. Vallarta, Vallarta, Vallarta. You can always put a tagline. Taglines are good. I think these show up whenever you Google search a website. You'll see like a tagline. You know, you can tell them what you do. You could be restaurants, whatever. Just kind of putting a tag saying what the website is about, and I think that shows up. But again, we won't be doing that today. So let's not focus on that. As a matter of fact, we won't even be using this because we'll be using a logo. And where we were is where I need to put that logo as well, I think. Here goes site icon. I already did the work on this too. I think I have it. And I just used the tool to clean up the background. I stole their logo as well. Let's just need to find it. Here it is. And select. See, the thing is with their logo, it's not squared. With this particular thing, it likes to have, actually this is the site icon and not the site logo, so I'm wrong there. Upload logo here, but it's still like squared. It's still like squared logos, I think. Let's see if it works well though. All right, looks good. So that's their logo. And yeah, I did steal that out from problem is though, I asked the website to remove background, and it removed the background on the white on the letters as well, making it transparent. But we'll work with that for now. Again, this is not really something I'm selling a client. It's really just a tutorial. So that's fine. Again, let's look at their menus and see what's here. They have menu PDF, reservation, and more. More has a drop down that has a bunch of other things. We're not going to do all of that though. So just for this purpose, I'm going to do just the top menus. We're not going to do any sub menus, right? So it's menu PDF, reservation, more, and sign in. So simple. We could go here and look and see where it's pulling from. All right, I know where this is pulling from, so we won't be able to edit this here. Let's just publish. Actually, before we publish, you see how this is changing blue? We want this to be changed into black when we scroll down. See? We can close this page as well. I'm not worried about the size of the logo as well. We can change it where it's smaller. But see, we can change the logo height. Pretty simple. The logo is pretty small. I think that looks like it. And when we're scrolling down, you notice that changes into black. So you can actually see the menus as the screen scrolls. So we're going to change that as well. Just have to see where it's located. And sometimes that's a problem. Actually, it might not be a problem. So we can select it from here, go to style. See this blue, we're going to change this to black. Actually, background, no, it's the sticky menu that we want to change into black, right? So let's make sure I see. So that worked. And same thing here. Change that into black. Kind of feel like it might be, it's not a solid black though. It's a light version of black. There we go. Almost like a charcoal. So let me grab the number from that one and I'm gonna paste it in this so they're matching. Yeah, I think that looks good. And then we're gonna publish that. And while we're on menus and all of that, let's update the menu names as well. So in order to update menus or to add, remove, it's already came here. Actually, this is pages. We would go to go back to appearance and go to your menu. So now menus are very easy to add in WordPress as well. Menus can be added by adding pages. And that page would become a menu in this list that you can just choose from. It's seamless. It's too simple actually. Because these are using pages, I don't want to change the name of the pages. There's another way you could add menus, is just you could create custom menus. The thing with custom menus is that you would have to link custom menus to a particular page by using I'll show you actually. So we're gonna do a custom link. Actually, it's not a custom link, custom menu, whatever. And you would have to put a URL in there, right? So for example, if I wanted to link this to my product page, that might not even be on this website. It could be on a separate website, or let's say it's on this website. You know, I could do that. So we're gonna be calling this menu, and we're gonna add it. Oh, it wants a link, so we're just gonna put a £sign in there for now. Menu PDF, I believe that's the other one. Menu PDF, £sign in there, and then add. And what other thing they have there? Reservation, more, and sign in. We could keep the sign in button as another button. We can keep it as a button versus creating a menu for it. So reservation, is that how it's spelled? Reservation. And then add that. Is it Shuns? No, it's reservation. And I think that's it. I'll sign in. Sign in. Your sign in is these two things are buttons up here. These are menus and these are buttons. So we're not gonna put them in here. The funny thing, they don't have a home button as well, so this is what they use for home. But let's see if I were to go on another page if they have a button for home. That's kind of weird that they don't. You know, a lot of websites will have buttons called home because it tells you what it is. You know, a lot of people probably don't, well, not a lot of people, but some people don't know clicking on the logo takes them back home. So personally, as a best practice, I would rather to have a button called home. Tells you what that is, right? Straight out, like, yo, because they're gonna look now, how do I get back to that page? And they have to press back. You know, just take out the thinking out of websites. Just make it good for the user. But so they don't have a home button, so we can remove again, if you click any website they go on, if you click their logo, it should take you back to the home page if they don't have a home button, right? Should. If it works right, that's what it should do. So we're removing all these old menus, and again, you can always find them back here because they're under pages. They're actual pages that are created, and then they create menus from those pages. So when you click on them, it goes to that page. So we're just removing them because we're not using them. All right, remove, and then how this is ordered is fine, but if I were to reorder it, simple as drag and drop. If I wanted this to be a sub menu of that, all I have to do is push it to the right. It's WordPress is, again, a very, very, very useful tool. It's like the easiest way to create websites, in my opinion. So once we have that, we're going to save it under what they call main menu, right? And that will update the main menu. So if you were to go back to our page now, you should see those menus. Should see those menus. Let's see something. All right, so something wasn't done right. Let's see this. Save. It should be there. Should be. I don't know what's going on. Something is happening here that we are not looking at. The only way I'm gonna know is if I were to go in. I'm getting a call. So the how I'm going to find out what is going on is if I were to go back on my appearance tab, right? So let's go back to appearance and go to customize, and I'm going to see what they use for their menu, because it means that they either built the menu all together or once it load up we find out. Let's see what's good. See what's good. All right, so let's select that and see what exactly they did here. Okay, so this is not the menu that we updated. We updated something called, let me show you what we updated. Let's go back to it. I don't know why I did that. So I updated something called main menu, I think. So they're not using main menu here. So that's what we need to select for menu is main menu. Primary menu is called main menu, and then we're gonna publish that. I already see it updated. There is some things that we could use, like this little head. We could actually try to see if we could turn that into, because that's an account. You know, that little head symbol typically represents that you could create an account, that you can sign into your account, which is similar to what they have here as sign in. If I could change this, I need to know where it's at. So let's select that. So see, it says a cart button. Do they have a cart button? No, they have an order online button up there. So two things, I need to get rid of this cart button because they don't have a cart. And the account for this, I don't know if I'm going to be able to style this. Again, you could probably style them, but it doesn't give me the option to change this. And again, we're going to make this seamless, right? I'm not trying to redo the wheel here. It's not what I'm going to do. We're going to just work with what they gave us, which is this little head. Same thing as account though. One thing I didn't notice is that they have a little black background to the menu. And I think in order to change that, I would probably have to adjust this. General, style. I can change the shape of it, but there's nothing there to change the color. Because they built it into a column as well. Yeah, they don't give me much options there. Can't just give up though, you have to try. So column 1. So it's in 3 columns. Column 1, 2, 3. 3 columns. Style. Sticky menu. Background. Transparent mode. Thing is, if I change this, it'll probably influence all 3 columns. That's what's gonna happen. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. It's not gonna be exactly like this menu, right? But and if I were to make it exactly like that, I would have to recreate it, and I'm not doing that for this little session we have here. What are we at? We had 31 minutes. All right, so let's get down to the front end design. Let's publish that though. And let's get to the front of this page. All right, let's go back there. All right, so let's start working in Elementor. So again, I've only used this kind of builder because it's like how I design things. I like to see finished products, man. It's annoying when you I don't know, mentally for me it's annoying when I'm working on something and I can't see it finished. So I like to work on editors that I can see a finished product like while I'm working. It's just how I am. I mean, if I am designing from scratch though, there will be the case where I'm going into Figma and creating wireframes and then high fidelity and, you know, just going through the phases. But for this purpose, I mean, we're just here doing this. I want to see my finished product while I'm doing it. So anyways, there are a bunch of things here that we'll have to change. First thing I want to do is change the background of this section, and as you can see, they're all listed here. There's a section, container. They're using a lot of containers. They're using a lot of containers. I'm surprised they don't use sections, but and I don't remember the difference with sections and containers. But I remember in the past, like, you know, hitting this plus button, you'll be able to create sections from this point, but I don't know. Things have changed in Elementor. I mean, I guess this is just how they're calling them. But again, if you do watch this and you have like the best way to phrase this, like what is a section, what is the, you know, leave it in the comment. Anyways, I'm going to be working on the background, which is in this section. I know that's the case because there isn't anything else that will be contained in this image in the back. As you can go, you can see that image there. We're gonna switch that image out to an image that we have saved on the computer as well. Typically, when you upload images to your website, make sure that they're small enough. I would say nothing over 1,000 kilobytes. You know, helps to maintain that speed. Once you go over that, then things are a little bit slower to load. You know, big images will take time, especially on mobile devices. People are using mobile services. It's not going to be quick. All right, so we have that image. We're going to select it. So there we go. We already changed the background. One thing I noticed though is that this background kind of drowns out the white fonts or the white menu, and I don't want to change my white menu. So one thing I'm going to do is tone this down a bit. So let's add a background overlay to that. You could add different overlay. If you wanted to brighten this picture up, you could add a brighter color, if not a darker color. So you see, you can add different tints. You know, it's very useful to help to like pop things, or even to create branding. You know, if you wanted this to be a little red. In this case, I'm going to make it a little darker because I want to be able to see my menu. So I think that's fine. It's not black, right? We can lighten it up just a little bit more. There. Actually, full black is fine. So that's that. So that looks good. Next thing, we're gonna start removing things. Like, I don't need this logo, so let's remove that. I can reuse these texts. I can reuse these buttons. I think the button is left align, so let's left align that real quick. And it's also not that rounded, so let's go ahead and left align this thing. And we're gonna remove some of the radius. Made the radius about 10. That looks good. What's written in it? It says order online is what we're gonna put in there. So we can also change that information here. Order online. All right, that looks good. Next thing, I noticed that this is just a little too small. This little container here is a little too small. So I want to kind of like widen this container a bit. So I need to find out what's restraining this. As you can see, the width of the container is already 100%. So I don't think it's the container itself that's restricting it itself, but something else. So as you can see, a container is in a section. So that might be what it is. A container can be in a section, but a section wouldn't be in a container, right? So you have the section as the overall, and then you have containers within sections. That's how I'm visualizing it. I don't know if it's right though. So let's figure out what's going on here, how I can get, because I need this I could reuse this as well. Let's reuse that. We're going to turn that text into, it's now a paragraph. We can also change it to a header. Already changed, and it took the style that we use, because I think we picked blue as one of our styles. So we're going to go back here and change that text color to white. Hopefully that works. If it doesn't want to take, then I'm going to have to delete it and bring it back in. So see, text color, it's not changing, mean that this is not working out for us. And sometimes that will happen. Let's see if I change this one as well. Let's work one at a time. So this is not changing. I'm gonna have to re-add a paragraph here, or let's add a header. I think a header is fine. Yeah, and then we can delete this. All right, so I went ahead and I pulled this information, best Mexican food in Poughkeepsie, blah, blah, blah. And I put it in a document. So I'm just gonna be copying and pasting that information. All right, so let's copy this out. Let me paste in that here. And let's see if I can style this now. better let me style it. I don't like the way how this header came out. I don't like these options. Too many options. Layout, size, position, the background. See, I don't like using this one. I already know that I used the wrong one because I don't like it. Because if you look at this one is a lot more simpler. So I'm gonna do something here. I see, because I don't want to waste time. It won't even let me delete it. It might be glitching out because you see it's not letting me delete it, so I'm gonna delete from here. What I'll do is I'll duplicate this one. I think that's the easiest way. Hopefully I can change the style on this. Let's see. Once we paste that in there, all right, it kept to white. This is doing a center. We're gonna do left align. And again, we need to figure out what's restraining this box, and I'll get to that shortly. I think I know what's restraining it. So this part should say the best restaurant in Poughkeepsie. So let's get that in there. And this should be smaller than the other one, so we could style this and probably put this to this, because the header won't actually it does let me do it. Maybe 5. No, 5 is still big. Maybe 6. See, if it doesn't work like this, then we can always go back to, it was 2, right? We can use it as a header, but we can also change it change it here. You know, I think that size matches. Maybe a little smaller. We can keep that. Make it 35. Make it 35, left align it as well. All right, so everything's left aligned. Spacing looks okay. Might be a little too wide, but spacing has been influenced by something in the advanced section here. So this isn't affecting it. So it might be this one that has a little bit more space. It's gonna have the same 30 on top. We can put that to maybe about 15. I think that space looks good. That looks fine. 10, or maybe none actually. Yeah, I think that looks good. So now let's figure out the restraint. What is restraining this? So let's go back to our section and see if there's anything that's going on here. All right, so right away I can see that this thing isn't wide enough. Let me make sure that nobody's talking here. I was looking at chat for a hot minute. There are editors that don't let you see the there are editors that doesn't work like this. Yeah. I've never used one because again, I like to see while I'm working. It just works out better for me. That's how I design. You know, I can have a visual confirmation of what I'm doing. So while I'm editing here, I can have a visual, like a literal visual confirmation of what the website looks like. And this is it. You know, if I'm going to do everything on the back end, and if you're doing if you're programming websites as well, I don't know if you can see, I don't know if you can see it, the finished product. You might just have to run it and then see it. So you're going to have to keep on running it. I don't know, because again, I've never used codes. But actually, no, I'm wrong. There are coding softwares that will allow you to see the finished product while you're doing it. But again, it would just be you typing in your codes. You know? So yeah, this is influencing it. So we change that, make it a little bit wider. All right, that looks pretty similar. The next thing I noticed that this is way high. So I need to figure out what's going on with this container. We might be able to push this container down more, but we might be able to also change that, I think, in just the section itself to where the container should be positioned. Right? I don't know if it'll work like that. That's the image. I need to use the bathroom. This is the alignment. It wants things to be center aligned. This doesn't work. And this will make it more, make this more wider, which we're gonna do. I think put this at 750 is appropriate. Maybe even 800 looks good. But we need to figure out now how to get this to go down a little bit. Seeing that it's not the section that's doing that bit of work. We're in the container now. Let's see if I could change how it is positioned. The problem is if I move it down, it might try to stretch here because there might be something that's under the bottom here as well. It could also be these things, the text that are causing it. Even this button could be causing it. So we have to look and see if there's any sort of padding in any of them. This has a top padding of 10. There's no bottom. Same thing here, 30. So let's try to change this first and see if I can push it down with that by adding top padding. We want to take this off because if not, it's going to link everything. See, it already changed, meaning that there was something there that I wasn't even seeing. It was in there. So if I were to add, all right, so that works. And all I'm doing is adding some padding to the top. I think 100 should be fine. Just to bring that word down to make it similar like this. I don't like the way how this is squeezed. Honestly, I don't like how theirs are squeezed up against that thing. So, I mean, we can go beyond 100. We can make it 200, right? But 200 will stretch my thing. I think 100 is fine. And what I could do as well is pull this. I don't even know if I really want to do it, honestly, but we could make it similar by pulling this up a bit. Where I put 800, I could definitely make it 750. Oops, too big. 750 doesn't even influence it because this is about 750 where this is pushing down against it. But it won't go smaller than 750 regardless of what kind of screen you're using. It won't be scaled beyond that. So I think that having that 750 will help. All right, so we have that section taken care of and it looks good. Looks good. All right, next section will be the section just showcasing their feature. This part I know isn't necessarily what I'm going to be using. Because typically when you're creating a section like this, you want it to be able to be interchangeable without actually messing with this part of the website. You go in and you put them in there and they put these features in there and they change on the front end, you know? So this might be like, I don't know, it could be like a blog actually. You use this feature to create blogs, you know, because blogs always blog sections always show like the most recent. You could use that, but for this I'm not gonna be using it. But even this I like though. This is nice because it reflects it on the menu, but the menu itself might even be blogs too. You know, just how they create them. I don't know necessarily if that's the case. Actually, it could be this section they could use. So, like example, if I'm creating a shop, you'll have feature products. You could use a section like that for the featured item. So there might be one here that I can actually just show you real quick, but I'm not gonna be using it. We're just gonna be using what we have here for the purpose of this tutorial, right? Or not? This is not even a tutorial, but just for this stream. For this stream, we're gonna be doing that. But I think I know what they use. So there might even be something called featured here. See? It's locked though, we can't use it, but I'm sure there is ways around this. If you use like one of the WooCommerce things, see, they're actually in there, but they're all locked out. So they use something like this to feature their feature meal. And once you click these featured image, it's like clicking on a product on a website. It just takes you to the product and it'll show you what that item is, right? So it's not really anything crazy. Again, we won't be able to go through that today. I just wanted to show you kind of what the deal is. And I don't know why it's locked. I think because I may have activated my my pin, but I need to go activate my pin on ad themes as well, because when I activate the pin, I have to activate the website as well for it to show. Anyways, let's get this section taken care of. See if anything useful here. I can use this entire section for this, you know. Again, I went ahead and took care of these images, so we're just gonna plop them in right now. Some things I don't need here though. I'll keep that. I'll delete this, delete that. I'll delete this little image here, and then we'll keep that. We left align this as well. So let's move that over to left align. Like their featured is left align. So we're doing the same. And then they look like their product as well as left align. Let's close that out. So look here, that's left align to the image. All right, so we're gonna do the same for these. Let's just set them up first so they look similar. Actually, let's change the background here first too as well. We're working in this container, so let's change that background. They're using the charcoal again, which is similar. I should have grabbed this color. Let me do that real quick. Because I can't grab it from here. You want it to be exact. Actually, let's not worry about that now. I can try to match it by just looking at it. So background is what we said we were going to change. We're changing that background to background overlay. No, not overlay. We're going to background color. Change that to that same kind of charcoal black, right? And I'm gonna, it's because it's annoying me, I'm gonna actually do it. Nothing has changed. Let's go here. Let's go customize. Actually, I don't even know why this looks like this. Something's going on here. All right, so let's go back here and just grab that color real quick. It shouldn't be too long. It's under appearance and customize. Thing too, you can always work with a notepad and just like if you're using colors, you want colors to be similar across. You don't want them to be different. So like this now, I'm gonna grab this color and I'm gonna save it, because if I'm gonna be using it in a couple of different spots, it's good to just have that, right? Actually, it's a sticky header and it's that number. Okay, I'll save this too in a note over here, but temporarily. Again, it's always efficiency. You want to work as efficient as possible, right? You don't want to work slow. This text is over the edge, and there's also a margin here, and I think that the margin is within this section. Here it is. We can delete that margin. We don't need that margin to be there. I also need to bring down my text. So let's see what it's done. It's probably in the minus. All right, we can make that 0. All right, and that looks good. For this one, we don't need this description. And once I create one, I'm gonna just duplicate them across. For this text, it should be white. So let's see where that's coming from. Content, here it is. We're changing that to white. Again, we should make this left align, which we just need to find the alignment, make it left align. That looks good. This image also should be white. I mean, this text should be white. Should have done that from the last time. Text color is going to be white. We could make it a little smaller as well. So go into typography, make this typography, make it about, looks like about 25. 25 is too small for anyone to see though. So we're gonna keep it best practice. I'd say 35 is fine. Yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna be plopping in my images though. So our images, we already have them saved to my computer, just for that section though. And I think that these are them. That's the Gemini one. Here they are. And then I'm gonna use the bathroom. Let that roll, and then I'm gonna take a quick break, bathroom break, and come back. All right, grab myself some water and a cup of tea, man. I didn't have my cup of tea yet. All right, let's jump back into this. All right. Okay, so I got to see what these are called. These meals are called. I'm pulling that page over here and lining them up. So this is our El Paso tacos, and so problem is though I wanted to make them nice and round. Instead we kind of messed them up in Figma. As a matter of fact, because I'm here today, you know, might as well just show you Figma, right? So I'm gonna go back into Figma and clean those up a bit. And there's a couple of images that I'm gonna have to pull into Figma as well. You gotta pull this one. Where's your website? Gotta pull a couple of images. Pull this one in there. We can find a thing to represent that. Oh, all the dishes look so amazing though, man. I'm telling you about something about Spanish food. The colors are just brilliant. Like, look how many colors are on this one plate. Crazy, right? So for today alone, let me see where the time's at. We are almost an hour in. Let me just create this section. I might try to just let's see where we end. There's no rush, but I don't really want to spend too long here. So we said we're gonna pull this into Figma, right? Let's not stress about how the images look. I was gonna go into Figma, clean up those images, but I don't want to waste time with that. So anyways, we have this section that we're taking care of. The space in between that should be controlled here as well, so you can shrink it down. I think 0 works well. Yeah. So from here, we're gonna let's copy this out. So we're duplicating this, actually not copy, we're putting that there, removing this one, delete, and another duplicate, delete. I'm just right clicking and duplicating. And once you, same thing with the delete, right click, delete, and I'll do this and duplicate that, right? So we have 4. So if you notice too, there's a lot of empty space here. Problem is they look like they do a container within the well, these are in containers as well. Why did they not just do, well, I guess this wouldn't, you'd have to add a container to the container to get these in them. I mean, that's the only, these are columns. Let me see something. They're way too many spaces here. I can adjust them. Hold on one second. If I leave that door open, people just come in as they please. Interrupt. See, my problem is that, again, we look like we're dealing with some sort of constraint. Could be in this. So if I were to make this a bit more wider, okay, that's exactly where the constraint is. I put it. think that's similar, right? Yeah. And the thing is too, theirs is a little bit more, there's something that's going on here when we left align these that I don't like. You know, there's a lot of space. When we left align, it creates a lot of space. I mean, there's a lot of space here. See, if I were to adjust them, it will shrink the size of the photo. Undo that. All right, let's change these out, let them make sense, and then name them. Next food we're gonna put here is this one. Select, and next dish is gonna be this. Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. The last dish. All right, and then let's name these dishes. This is the... Also, the animation where you see it's bouncing like that, that's not on theirs. We can take that off. I'll show you how to do that. So for this one, it's gonna be the El Paso tacos. And then this guy right here is the Fiesta platter. And this guy is the crispy. I'll say that word. Taquitos. That's the word. TOS. And this one is... Which one is this? Shrimp and bacon tacos. Let's do this. All right. So how do we look? I think we look all right. The only problem I'm having is this. See, we can do that. But you see, what it does, it shrinks it, you know? It shrinks it. Because the problem I'm having is that they have this wide gap. And I think what created that is when I expanded this. See? Actually, no, it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, it does make a difference. All right, so let's not worry about that. So next thing we want to do is take these animations off of the images. I should have done that before I start copying it all out, but it's pretty simple. It's under the advanced, and then we go to the motion effect. Is it that? No, it's animation. These are not motion effect. These are animation. Is it? I mean, it's already saying none. All of these are locked. I need to. That's my license didn't take. My license didn't take, and I know it because they're all locked. Oh, actually, it's not the responsiveness. My license didn't take. It's because I would have had control over some of these effects things in the background here. Oh, it's the hover over actually. Silly. So content, image. Yeah, here it is. And then hover over, grow. We don't need anything. So we're Xing that out. right? And same thing with this one. So it's in the under styles, and then it's under the image. Again, you know, to figure these things out, like it's gonna take, you know, just practicing and just like doing these things over and over, because you know, if you see something that you don't know what it is, it's gonna take figuring out what the hell is this. And I can't tell you that part is easy. That's where you have to kind of have a little bit of experience doing this. And that part, because that part will definitely eat you up. I can actually round these edges as well, man. Look at this. I'm gonna show you something. I should be able to round these edges as well without going back into Figma and doing anything. Let's try it with this one, image. All right, let's get that over animation out of it. It doesn't give me the option. Oh no, here it is. Look. You see that? Round up. Round up. All right, so what's the radius to be added? 30. So again, as I said, these are not things I could show you here on stream, but it'll take a bit of practice to kind of get it, you know. None of this is gonna happen like just in a day. And if you're familiar with softwares though, like they're all the same, you know. You just things that are slightly different about each. But yeah, when you see things, you just fool around with it, man, and just get the effect you want. I would want to figure out how to push this. I think I hear kids coming. Jesus. The only thing these kids come in and ask me for is electronics. It's always the case. I think maybe if we right align it, but the problem I am finding with this is that if I right align the box, it right aligns everything, which I don't like. You know, I don't like that. You see, I can change the image, but it's like that part is a little annoying, because if we aligned it to the right, it would be better off. But I can't really align the content different from the thing. It'll have to work. We'll figure that out on the next time. We didn't round up this one, right? We need to add some radius on this as well. Let's round up those edges. Here. All right. I think that looks good. Right? Just a little bit too squunched up on there though. Like it is what it is. Let's again try to keep their we're trying to keep their look. Trying to. Again, there's some things that I would change about this particular website, but not today. Can close that out. This one was one I was messing around with earlier. That's why I can go through this now. Yeah, I think this will work. They also have a button in the top right here. I'll see if I could get that button in there. Let's whoops. You see how that button brings you to their shop page? That's what's cool about this. And these are all like products. See that? Amazing, I tell you. But anyways, so for this one, we're gonna see if we can duplicate. Oh, what's going on here? Wait a minute. This is not the same. Did I close the one I'm actually working on? Yeah, absolutely did. All right, let's get that reopened. My Cup of Joe, no, if you're still here, no no time out today. I'm planning on staying in all day. I mean, the weather was a bummer though. So I mean, I don't blame anyone. They don't want to go anywhere. Looks like I didn't even publish it. If I didn't publish it, I may have lost everything. We did not. So that's another good thing about this editor. It didn't save the last bit of information I did though, which is removing this. If you accidentally close out your page, thankfully it won't it won't just get rid of everything. I wouldn't lose everything, is what I'm saying. So again, if I duplicated that style where it's not bouncing and I round it up and I duplicate it and I just change the image, because I could technically do that. It's probably easier to do, right? So if I were to duplicate this and just drag these over and then I delete this one, you know, and then, but the problem is that I would have to change the wording. But if I had done that ahead of time, like all the things that I know I want this particular image to do, I wouldn't have to be going through them single-handed, you know, changing it. Your work has been rough and weather is scrappy, so yeah, I don't blame you. Stay home and enjoy the homeliness. Sometimes it gotta be like that. Sometimes it's gotta be like that. So get rid of the hover over. Normal, put the radius 30. Something like this. That's the word. Inside. Trying to get relaxed here now too. All right, I think this section is nice, and we're gonna call this featured as well. Again, this would be a store feature that you would be using, like the store, and you will, which is the WooCommerce plugin. When you use that, that will help you to feature products. Like, you know, they have a little feature section here, but again, I'm not doing that for this. So next section, what is the next section here they have? Did I close them? I closed the real website. Casa Vallarta, yes. All right, getting back here. Now they have this little section here showing the storefront and telling you just a short thing about themselves here. It would have been nice if they added a button here though, as we were supposed to add a button here. Just kind of, you know, take you to their About Us page, because if you go on the more, they do have About Us, you know, our store. So nice little button here to redirect you to this here if you just didn't get up here or wasn't looking into that. You wanted to learn about them, you could click that button. So let's add, I said I was going to duplicate this button. Let's duplicate this. And the reason why I'm duplicating is because I didn't want to create it from scratch, one, and I also want to show you just how you could change that button to something like this button, you know. I can't get I might be able to get the arrow, I'm not sure, but I might not be able to get the arrow. So first thing first, we need to right align it. It's in this top section here, right align. So we're gonna align it to or position it to the right, like position and then alignment. All right, from here I'm gonna remove this red, and I'm gonna make that red transparent. All right. Or I could altogether remove the color, but transparency works best because it is transparent. And I'm gonna have to add a border to this thing. So that's the the button. Where am I? Okay, button. No shadows. So that's pretty much a fill color. Where are my borders? Borders, that's text. Here, border. I have to add a border, which is showing just radius. So for the border, we're gonna put solid, and border's thick though. Jesus.
Meditate for 5 minutes.
All right, so it came in with a thick border. I think 1 is fine. See how nice that looks. And I don't know if I can get the arrow. I don't know if I can put the arrow in there. But anyways, that's that. And then what does it say? It says view menu. View menu is what this should say. This also has a hover over. Let me see if theirs does. Yes, over, and it's that charcoal black again. We can pull that charcoal color from here. Because that's a charcoal black we're gonna use. Go back to our button. Go to hover over and then change that to that charcoal color, right? So now it's changing. Well, it's not the same charcoal. It's like a lighter color because it would have not shown because of this background. So this has to be a little bit more white. See how nice that looks, like a gray. All right, and that should be our menu. Or view menu, I think. View menu. Content. View menu. All right, that looks good. So again, you can see everything that you're doing here. All right, that fits. Let's make it. We're not dealing with you, AI. Get off of here. All right, so next thing we could do is this about us page. I want this picture from that, so I'm going to use my handy dandy snip tool that Windows give every PC for free. Very useful tool if you want to screenshot. Remember back in the days we had to screenshot. We'll take a whole page with it though, and I'm going to pull in as much of this picture as I can. I probably won't be able to pull in the rounded edges. Actually, we could just do this. Let's pull in all of it. All right, we have that, so we're gonna save it. Oh no, I clicked new instead of save. You're not seeing it. Actually, let me show you how to use the snip tool. I can add that to my stream real quick. If I'm using that tool, might as well show you how I do it. So we're gonna add a window real quick just for that. It's gonna be window. Let's call this tool. Okay, and it's gonna be the snip tool for now. Okay. It's just trying to eat up all my stream though. Jeez. Let's see if it'll work though. Let's see if it'll work. It's just showing a trail of nonsense. So new. I don't know if it worked. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't want to work. So let's get rid of it. With TikTok OBS though, it'll show easy. It'll show easy on TikTok OBS. So sometimes OBS is a little wonky how it does things, man. So let's get rid of it. It didn't work. Let me get off my screen. All right. So the good thing is I got the image. I'm going to save it as Casa Building. All right, so that's saved. Let's minimize that. So once I have that saved, I'm going to be just pulling it into Figma real quick. All right, let's find that empty space in Figma. This is Figma, by the way. If y'all don't know what Figma is, this is Figma. And so we're going into our folder and we're just pulling in an image. That's all we're doing. All right, so we pull in this building. This is what I screenshotted. So we need to clean this up a bit, right? There's a couple things I have to do here is remove these edges. So let's crop that in a little bit. Oh, no, that's not it. That's not my crop tool. Here's my crop. Let's crop it in nice and neat. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. And for these rounded edges, we keep them right there. Cool. And then we could save this out. I want to save this, export this. Export that. And then once that's exported, I'm going to create myself a little box. A little square, actually, not box, a square. Create myself a little square. Similar size as what we have here. So instead of using the fill color, we're going to replace that fill color with an image. And then we're going to upload the image that we just created a while ago. All right, so let's pull that in. Honestly, what I did before by cleaning it up, I didn't have to, but I want to show you how to use this. Okay, so I can close that. Thing is, we still have these little edges that I need to get rid of, right? Good thing with this is I can round up the edges as well. I can where is that actually? It's here. Things I don't want to do all 4 sides, so I'm going to do 2 sides, the 2 right sides, and let's put that to, I think 30 should be fine. 30 is always a good number, right? Yeah. As you can see, just rounded it up nice and neat. Again, we could round it up as well in our in WordPress, but I feel like I have more control here. And again, I want to show you what Figma does. All right, so that looks good. We're gonna export this image. So let's export it again. It's calling it a rectangle. We want to name this rectangle. Here we actually can rename it rectangle. We can rename here. We can double click it. Call it Casa Building. Right, and I'm gonna pull this again, so we're good. Once we're done with that, though, I'm gonna go back here on my website. So what can we remove here? I don't know where this is coming from. This is an image in the background of that section. Actually, it's not even. Let's shrink up some of these things and see what the heck is going on here. So you're telling me this container doesn't hold this image. So which container holds it? You see, this image is somewhere. If I close it, what happens? Does it still exist? No, it doesn't. Which is telling me that this image has to be here. Just put something random in there. Okay. So it's not that. It is somewhere, but where is it? I don't know. Let's start turning off some of these layers. Oh. It's definitely in this one. You're doing wrong. Add a grid, not a container. So thank you for joining. Let me see what your name is. Thank you for joining. So I understand what you're saying, but this is a theme. I'm not gonna do the full edit, so that's why it looks like that. So yeah, there are different ways of doing things as well. How do you say your name? Fucha? You know, yeah, there are different ways of doing things, and some ways are more difficult. And I would take your advice if I was doing this from scratch, but I'm not. So yeah, it's just that we're utilizing what's on the theme. I'm not changing. I don't want to change much on the theme because I want to show people that they could actually use a theme and edit that theme to build their website, right? So it's kind of the deal. Sorry. So we have 25 minutes left in that 2 hours though, which is insane that I've sat here that long. Yeah. So let's go back to this. Yeah, I mean, again, this is, leave it in the comment. Leave it in the comments. I mean, it's good to hear what people think. I like to hear what people think, you know. Just leave it in the comments. Like, but understand what this is. This is me using this theme to build this website. If I were to create this on my own, I would delete a majority of what you see here. Probably I would just delete most of it, you know, but I'm trying to show you that it's possible to just jump in with the theme and edit it. And the real aim of this stream as well is to actually show people how to use the theme, because I want to give away a free subscription, like, you know, give away at least 5 themes every time I come on stream. I want to give away 5 themes, and you know, with a month free hosting. So it's going to be the hosting and the theme. So I had to show people how to use it if they were to try to use the theme without adding anything. All right. So it's a good lesson. I think it's a good lesson for today. All right. So again, this is somewhere. I can't find it. It's somewhere though. It's in this section or this container. So if that's the problem, then I'm gonna have to, as the person said before, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do what you said we're supposed to do. All right. I don't necessarily need this. I could get rid of it. I want to reuse this particular one though, but I also want it out of my way. So we'll turn it off for now. Here. All right. So seeing that we weren't able to find that thing, I just totally got rid of it. I really don't necessarily need 2 columns here as well. So we got to figure out how to get rid of one of these columns and just work with one, right? There's also another way. If we use the flex, we could probably just do that, you know. Again, to each his own. I wouldn't say there's any right or wrong way to do it. This is what I'm saying. It's to each his own. If whatever works best for you. All right, so let's jump ahead and drop something in the background of this. All right, so I think we could do an image here. But let me see something here. We would do that, and then from here we would give this container a background, which let's go on another website that you should also familiarize yourself with if you're making websites. I mean, I can't tell you how much I've used these royalty-free images and off of these websites. So I'm just looking for Mexican food because I want to do this. Actually, they use like a nice backdrop for that, which wasn't so distracting. It looks like it looks like a kind of a finish, maybe like a stone finish, like a textured finish, you know, something like that, something more like this. I can show you a little bit of skills of how I could actually create that. And if I find one that suits, what kind of finish is it though? It's definitely a type of finish, but what kind of finish? Did he name it? Maybe it's a clay finish. I didn't spell finish right. Looks like a clay wall finish, right? I like this, but that's Adobe stock, of course. Gotta pay for that. Here, this is nice. Watch me. We're gonna download that. Watch, look at this. Look at how we're gonna make this work. All right, so where'd it go? I gotta shrink it down because I don't want to upload it. I could just upload it directly, and I could use WordPress to edit that the way I wanted to. You know, we could get a nice little background like that. But before I upload it to WordPress, let me minimize it because the image is coming in massive. I actually don't see it. Actually don't see it. Okay, now it downloaded. So I'm gonna just edit it real quick. Make it, well, actually not edit it, I'm just making it small. I'll do all the edits in WordPress, right? Let me just shrink it with Paint. You're not seeing this, unfortunately, because I can't get that. I'm gonna figure out how to drop the software, a window that shows softwares that I'm using. I know I always use Paint, I always use the snippet tool. So we're doing this to percentage. Bring it out to 50%, another 25% maybe. 25. Oh no, 75%. We'll make it another 25%. All right, save that out. How large is that? Still over 1,000 though, Jesus. Get another 75. All right, beautiful. All right, let me show you what I would do. I mean, it's again, that's just me fooling around, and it's good to show people different things, right? This person came on here and tried to say we should do it a certain way. Let's do it a certain way. Anyways, let's expand the height of that that section that we created, or container that we created. Cool. And we're gonna give it a background. And let's just add that background. We're gonna upload an image that we just downloaded. It's right here. Good best practice as well. Every image you upload to our website, make sure it's named what it is. So if it's burgers, name it burgers. Or name it what, you know, the more detail you put in a name in there, in naming your images, it helps, because remember that there are people that are not able to see that uses websites as well. They use screen readers. It's good to have images or things with names, actual names, you know, just that they know what they're looking at with the audio. Well, they hear what they're looking at. And it helps, you know. You have to try to be inclusive when it comes to designing websites. All right, so with this now, we're gonna see what we can do on the position. Position is fine. Display size, let's do customize. I think that zoomed up look is very nice. And remember that overlay that we added earlier? Now we're gonna add another overlay to this. Go into styles, let's put that away, add an overlay. I think the overlay that we could add to this now is like a reddish color to make it nice. Make it nice and something reddish, something reddish. No, actually they're using like an orangish color. Nice little orange tone. All right, we're not gonna spend too much time. You get the gist. I'm just kind of showing you how I could like pull in things and use WordPress to just kind of edit things around and make things look different than what you actually bring them in as. You know, it's just understanding the tool again and you know what it's capable of. All right, so once that's done, what we need to bring in here is that image and text. So we actually need two of these. We may need two of these. So duplicate. So I think I might have done something wrong. Hold on one second. See something here. All right, so we can put grids in here. What if, how can I change the grid amount? It's in here. So what is this? 3, we're gonna do 2 by 1. All right, that looks good. And over here we're gonna have just a plain solid background, which is the same color as here. What time we have? We have 30 minutes left. 30 minutes left on this 2-hour thing. So we're gonna do here, go that, go style. I'm just gonna try to fly through it as quick as I can though. I don't want that. I don't want to, actually it doesn't matter if it changes both. Really doesn't matter if it changes both. I wanted it to change one, but it's influencing both. All right, but don't worry about it. Don't worry, don't fret, because what's going to go into this side is a image. Actually, let's try two things. Just try two things. You know what? Let's not try that because they're not individual. So let's do it this way. Let's add an image here. Oh no. You're going inside. Oh. Okay now. So what happens if I change the size of my image? Let's upload the image of that one. This is all trial and failure here. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then we figure another way around. That's all it is. So I need this to be side by side, right? How do I get it to work side by side? So you see this whole thing about, and this person was saying too about grid not containers is kind of the problem. So before you could, like with Elementor, they never used to use these things. It would be this is a long time ago though, and to me it was a little bit more easier to understand. Like what's going on here, I don't know exactly, because if I put this here, it's putting it here, which could tell me that it could just be the sizing that's the issue. But I can't even flex the sizing from this thing. It looks like it's only going to control. Let me see something. Okay, that's the amount. That's the amount. Yeah, I don't get it. So here's where we got stuck now. We are getting stuck. But one of these must work. If I were to put this in that, how would I get another one next to it? Because there's no, look like there's no, I don't know if there's any double container per se. You know? And this thing is this is simple, you know. Like something like this shouldn't be holding anyone back, but it's just it happens. This is simple. Once you figure it out, you figure it out. See, this should just easily allow me to pull it and flex it. That's not the case. So let's say we were to remove this all together. My image is here. This is our layout. This is what we want. But it's using the correct layout. Because if I were to pull... I don't want to use the grid though. Grid is not what I want to use. Because we just use the grid. And I see what the grid does. So grid layout is not what I want. You see, grid doesn't allow me to change the size of it. Oh no. Come back. Let me add something like this. If I add Flexbox. The Flexbox is the one I want to use, honestly. And if I were to put that in there. And then make the background of this. I mean, it's all right, but it's gonna need some work. As you can see already, this would work. But I could always do something else. But it's just I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. You see, when things like this becomes a problem, you don't let them stay a problem, right? You never let a problem stay a problem for too long. You don't let the problem stay a problem for too long, right? You solve it. So this is becoming a problem, and I won't let this problem stay a problem for too long. So it's a easy fix. It's a easily done fix. Matter of fact, I ain't got it's fine. Just at least to 0. I mean, there's always a workaround, and then somebody's gonna come on here and tell me how I could have fixed it. But for now, for today, we're losing time. How much time we have left? 29 seconds. Oh snap. No, 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. We got time. We got time. We got time on it. I'm gonna call this Frame Casa building, right? Like, I can't be bothered to figure that setup out. So, and then for this, I'm gonna do the same. We should be able to round up. We should be able to round this up. And I don't even, honestly don't need to round this up either, because all I have to do is make this frame a transparent background, and none of that will show. So we're removing the fill from the frame, and then we're going to download this, export this again. Once this is exported, I'm going to have to shrink it because it's too big. So we're going back into our download files. Open that in, not that. Open it into Paint. And gotta shrink it down. Actually, let's keep the size. I think the size is fine, actually. Don't save. Let's go back here. Oh, actually, hold up. I didn't do something right. There's two rounded edges here, so we have to round up. We have to round up this square. It's just this square, right? We gotta round up this side. Keep 30. All right. Now, if we could have done it in Elementor, it's fine, but now I'm not, for the sake of time, and that I'm gonna show you that there's always a workaround. When you can't figure one thing out, you try to just always think of other ways. That's how you troubleshoot. That's how you fix things. That's why I tell this person, well, if there's one way to do something, it's fine. If there's more than one way to do something, then, you know, choose the way that works. Choose the way that works. Don't ever get stuck doing something because that you think that's the only way. All right, and then now we got to figure out the width thing on this. Let's make it 100%. And then I'm gonna go back in here. We're gonna make this background not this color, so we're gonna change our color shortly, and then we're gonna add an image. I should have just repeated everything, but anyways, add an image. We're gonna bring this image in, upload, bam. That's why it's good to know different programs as well. You don't rely on one. That's another good thing to make note of. And if this doesn't work, I'll eat my hands off. I bite my fingers off. I'll bite my fingers off. That will happen any day, so it has to work. And then for this, we're gonna remove the fill color. I'll just make it transparent, right? Perfect. So now we have this section here, and this, we can stretch this and make this a lot more bigger, I think. Let's make the height of that just a little bit more taller. And what was the background of this again? We use the stone color. Actually, we should just move this into this and then delete that. And then for here, we're gonna stretch this a little bit more, get a little bit more height on this thing. Ooh, what's going on? And then this thing needs to be centered. I think center is gonna be dictated by here. Yep, center. And then they have their little sentence in that thing, so we just have to make sure that whatever we're putting here, we're gonna try to see if we can make it a line. Now that's gonna be another challenge, but let's see if we can. Let's see if I can figure it out quickly. If I can't, then again, always a workaround. I could have always done all of this here in Figma. I could have done a nice little paragraph we see here, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, you know. But we're gonna do this. We're gonna try to do this in WordPress, and we might go over a little over the time still, but that's fine. Let me move this information into my Word document as well. Yeah, it looks like the wall of, looks like the wall of a Mexican or the Mexican restaurant. It does look like a Mexican restaurant wall though. Again, I know how Mexican restaurants set up their thing. It's really like welcoming. Like I can imagine you coming from, you're Mexican, you go to their restaurants like your home, right? They just bring that nice aesthetics in the thing. Page little format. All right, so You see this little bit of AI right here? Oh my God. They could have at least deleted this dash. See, copy and paste from AI, how deadly that becomes. When I just copied it out here, I'm like, why is there a dash there? This is what ChatGPT and a lot of the AIs will do. They'll put dashes between things. Like if they don't see something, they'll just replace it, put a little dash there. So you figure it out. Just copy and paste what you get from AI. You got to think it over, right? So I'm gonna see if I can do it in WordPress. If I can't do it in WordPress, then we're gonna have to do it in Figma. Oh, why is this thing not playing? All right, there we go. Don't just copy and paste that stuff from ChatGPT. So let's go back here and let's see if this will work. It won't 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 work. So you know what that means? Look at this. I'm going to reverse the thing. I'm going to reverse the thing. Look at this. Boom, boom, boom. And then we're going to delete this. So all I did was I created this into that background. But the problem is now that it's all shrunken up because it has nothing in it. It has nothing influencing how wide it should be. There's no text. There's no image. But we might be able to scale it. We might be able to scale it, or we want it, which is here, minimum height, all right? So we are able to scale it. It's also doing like a duplicate thing because it needs to be set up. Once you go in here, you can set it up. You can go center, attached, no repeats. We don't want any no repeats. Display size, we can do automatic. Typically I just do container. Container gives you everything, and that's it. So we figured out that portion of it, right? This little guy showing up. You see this little guy right here? Anyway, so that's that. And then what we're gonna do now is put the text in here. Should work now. Should work. Right. So it took me a hot minute. It took me a hot minute, but we figured out a way how to work it out. We figure a way how to work it out. And so what we have to do though is left align all of these stuff, and we're gonna have to position them as well. So that text is, these texts are a little bit smaller. And you can always, oops, Jesus. We can always kind of fix this here. Oh, well, no, that's not gonna be that's not gonna happen. So the thing is, what I should have done for this is I should have probably add another, like, because I still need to figure out this whole thing about container. I need to understand the terms. So we can put a container within the container and then put that within there, and then we can shrink this container to size. See, it's kind of just this, like, I don't necessarily like this whole, I don't like it necessarily, but it is what it is. It's just have to learn the tool, and while I'm here I'm learning a lot too. Don't think it's all there. It's me learning on the fly. And text size, we could probably change that size to let's just make it the size we want. I think that should, and then position this. We can position this how we want to position this, but let's get the other one in there first, which is this portion. I'm gonna pull in another text. All right, put that in within this container. Make this white as well. Make that white. And that's that. And put this information in there. All right, that's good. And then now what I need to do is I can add some padding on the top of this thing, but I gotta release that first, and I can pad it. Let's see what padding does. All right, it works perfectly. So we're gonna do 150 to the top, 100, and then we gotta do some to the left there as well, maybe about 25, and that works. So how challenging that was? Not very challenging, but it shouldn't have been that challenging. You know, at least I learned, you learned different ways of getting one task done. There's never this mindset of doing things one way. Don't believe in that thing. That's a bad way of thinking. You know, it's there's never one way of doing something. You hear me? If you get in that frame of mind, you'll defeat yourself. So one other thing I want some margins here. So let's undo that. Not just unlink those, and I don't know, maybe about 50 on top, 50 at the bottom. Makes it looks clean and nice. That looks good. That looks good. How do we look? If I could get rid of this thing though, that thing that keeps popping up. Where is it? I think it's this guy, man. Let's get rid of that menu for now. I wanted to keep it because I wanted to use it, but it's harassing me. It's harassing me, and I think it's this one. It's glitched because it should be off, but when I'm viewing it, it's coming back. All right, cool. So that's the top section, which is from here to here. It shouldn't take that long. Should have taken that long though. Should have taken long, but I mean, I think it looks good. I think it looks pretty similar to theirs. You know, it's nice. It's nice. I think so. And yeah, I think this is where we'll call it for today. It's 2 long hours. And hopefully if it catches on the flip, you'll learn something. We streamed for 2 hours and 12 minutes, which to me is a good time. Anyways, something to think about though, if you do see this on the flip, you probably won't watch it to the end though, is that I will be giving away a free month of a free month to try this out. You know, a free month to try this out. I think that just doing the things you saw me do, it's not that bad. And see that we're learning as well, you know, just practice the things you just saw. You don't treat this as a tutorial is what I'm saying. You know, practice, try different things, learn different ways. Try different things, learn different ways. And you know, you never know, you might teach me how to do something that I didn't know how to do. Like, so now I know about the container thing. You see, look at this. So this right here, actually the best thing to fit this button, because if I were to push, I could push this button up because it should be in line with future. Going back to the teacher. I mean, I could try to bring it up this way, but it might push this as well. Let's see. So if I were to bring this down, it do that. If I were to bring it up, then minus. So it works. But because they show us that we can use groups and all, so this pretty much, you see what I mean? It's in a line. It's in line, just like, oh, this is in line right here. Right? This is in line with feature. But because they show me how to do this group and all this thing just now, because I just learned it. We could actually add a group in this section here, right? Actually, it won't work that way, but we could technically add a container first to contain. Well, this has a container, so this we just need to add another container within this big one. So we would have to add, and we're just practicing here. We would add another container within this main container, and within that container now we would add a group, and then that group would be 2 and 1, and then we would put our buttons in one group. Will it not go in there? And then we would put our word feature in one group as well. And then I could simply remove, if I could select the damn thing, I could simply remove this spacing, put it to 0. Oh, actually, no, it still wouldn't work. It would look like it would actually still go down to the bottom. Actually, no, here we go. Yeah. So we could technically do that and get the same effect. Again, it's see, if I didn't try, I wouldn't know how to do this. So that's kind of me just showing you, like, you know, don't be shy when it comes to learning. Learning is trying and failing, actually. You know, if you don't fail, to me, I feel like you're not learning. So you have to try, fail at the thing, try again, fail at the thing, try again, start passing the thing, try again, still passing the thing, try again, become an expert, try again, continue being an expert, try again. That's how you just keep trying. But it's not like you do it once and then oh shoot, I didn't get it right. So I suck at it. It's really not how we should approach anything in life, you know, it's the truth. Yeah, so that's my little thing for today. Have a great Memorial Day as well. My Cup of Joe, thank you for joining. You take care of yourself. You know, catch you on the flip side of things. You guys stay well, stay dry, and yeah, we'll link up.